To your message today. This is a collective, timeless channel message. Anything I see or hear, I will share with you. Remember to bring your own intuition to the party, as it will fill in the specific details that are relevant in your experience. And if you didn't pay for it, it's not a personal reading. It is a collective reading. So anywhere where you're resonant with the collective, you'll find something here. For those of you who are ready to get a personal reading, the information is below the video in the description box. So let's see, what do we have today? I'm going to work with 5 different decks to receive each of the positions that we'll discuss. What do we have today? Oh, we have 2 cards coming out. Virgo coming out with, I am living in grace in every facet of my life. I see grace and be grace. So grace is there with the Virgo energy. Virgo is, the energy of Virgo can be very nitpicky. It can be very OCD. It can be very, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking as I say it can be very OCD. It shows me a few Virgos that I know in life personally who are either OCD, like clean, or OCD sloppy. It can come through on either extreme, but there's a very nitpicky energy, obsessive energy, and depending on the person's energy, it can come through on the, depending on the person's development and maturity level, it could come through on the extreme of being OCD clean, OCD conscious, OCD aware, or OCD negativity, deflecting, nothing is my fault. I've seen it go both ways, but we have Virgo energy and we are talking about living in grace. So seeing those 2 together is definitely giving me the higher vibration energy, saying it's like you're able to look at all your situations in life, all these different happenings, different situations, and say to yourself, I see grace here in my life. I see where I give grace here in my life and there in my life. So the energy of grace is very pronounced, and we have the energy of grandma. Okay, so somehow grandma is in what we have. So you are grandma, or you have a grandma in this experience as well. Some of you immediately thought of your grandmother who has transitioned into the spirit realm, and yes, absolutely yes, that's applicable. She's here with you. And I'm hearing she is part of the grace that you get. Like your grandmother sees everything from her spiritual positioning, and she definitely covers you in grace. Okay, let me see what else do we have in the what we have position, please. We have Paradise with the sword and the rose. So Paradise talking about happiness, joy, playfulness, enjoying each other, the honeymoon phase. But there's also the sword and the rose, which speaks of clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, and determination. So it's like, while you're living in grace, you understand that this is something that is valuable. You understand that this is something worth protecting. You understand that it didn't get this way by itself, so you have to take care of it, is what I'm hearing. Okay. All right, let's see what we have from the tarot to add to this experience. I'm working with the Hermetic Tarot first. What can you reveal for the love and peace and happiness? Try it. What do we have at this time? What we have is the 3 of Wands, expecting good things to come. In positive expectation, it's like, you know that you've taken all the steps you had to take. You know that you did everything that you could in the situation. You know that you have defended the things that you value. You defended the beauty in life. You defended the things that matter. And anywhere where you're grandma, you know that you've done things to protect the children, your children and your grandchildren. Anywhere where grandma is in your auric field, in your energetic field in this reading, you know that grandma protects you and all the children and all the grandchildren. Okay, I heard, and the great-great-grandchildren. Yeah, and the great-grandchildren. And the great-great-great-grandchildren. All the grandchildren. Okay. All right, so there is energy of ancestor protection, ancestor guidance, and I heard ancestors applause in a situation here. Let me see more. What else can you reveal? I have the Gilded Tarot in my hand. Knight of Pentacles is in reverse. Interesting. And I'm picking, yeah, they're showing me that this deck is talking about an external circumstance. So this isn't you. Something or someone in your life has been stopped dead in their tracks. Stopped in their tracks. And what I'm hearing is, yeah, as that energy has been stopped in its tracks, there's room for new. There's room for more. There's room for expansion. There's room for growth. There's room for a replacement with something of equal or greater value, usually greater value. Okay, so if that's what we have, a situation where you've been really scrutinizing all the different aspects of what's happening in your life, realizing everywhere where you've seen grace, where you've been graceful, and where you've received grace from other people, from spirit, from your ancestors, from your grandmother, as a grandmother. Okay, you've also protected that which is of value. You protected your joy, your peace, your happiness, and that of the ones that wherever you had space and authority to do so as well. You expected good things, and something that was there for a long time has finally been come to a stop. Something that was in the way, that's what they're showing me, that it was in the way for a very long time, has been brought to a screeching halt. It cannot come in any further, and I don't feel good about it. I feel like it was there for a long time. It's like if there's been a weight on your back for so many years, and finally the weight has been removed. Yay! How much better is it to be able to journey in life without a giant weight on your back? So let's see what the desire is here. What are you choosing at this time? What's the tribe choosing at this time? Show me clearly. Are you going to give me a card? Oh, I was about to talk stuff. Okay. Perfection. I feel so comfortable with you, recognizing that you, oh, okay. So listen, so what I'm seeing is, tribe, you're sitting in this energy where you're realizing the perfection of everything, and you're finally starting to like settle into that. It's like, the idea of perfection is something that a lot of people have resistance towards, but you're realizing the perfection of where you're at and how you got here. And it's like every step was necessary to get here. It's like every part of the journey was significant and led to the current positioning that you're sitting in. So there's this, like I said, you did a review, right, of all the ways you saw grace in your life. There's an energy here that they're showing me where you're really getting comfortable with understanding that everything happens for a reason. There's a reason for everything. And if you don't understand, all you got to do is chill, accept that there's a reason for it, and then eventually, even if not immediately, at some point, the reason will be revealed, and you'll understand why it's all perfect. You'll understand why it all works together for the greater good. I heard all good things. All good things. What a great mantra. All good things. Even if it doesn't always appear to be that way on the surface, there's a recognition and an understanding that literally it's all good things. I love that for you. I love that in your energy. Let's see what else we have in the choosing. What are you choosing? We have the next and the ancestor. Oh, you know your ancestors support you. So you're like, well, what's the next thing on the list, right? You're like, I did this, that, and the other. It wasn't always easy, but I accomplished it. And I see the reasons why I went through that. And so now what's next? Because you know that your ancestors support you. You know you're not alone in this. It looks like I'm alone in this room all by myself, but no, it's filled with my angels, my spirit team, my ancestors, and my guides. And likewise, you know that for yourself as well. You know that you're supported. You're getting comfortable, even if you're in your own space by yourself, because you know you're not ever truly alone. You know you're fully supported in this. I love that. Okay, let's see what else we have for you. In the choosing, in the desire, what is it? We have talking, interested, awaiting messages, calls, email, talking more. I see some of you are literally looking to connect more with your ancestors in a more sort of a open flow communication style, right? I also see like wanting to understand more of your ancestral history, wanting to be connected to the right people as well, wanting to be connected to and choosing to connect with people that you could discuss. I see somebody specifically, like you're connecting with somebody who you could discuss your ancestry with. Okay, somebody here, you're choosing to do like an ancestral investigation. You know how they have those things where you send your DNA and then they investigate and tell you. Okay, but I see that can be very symbolic as well. So they're showing it to me in both ways. Somebody, you're literally getting like a 23andMe test. Somebody else here, you are communicating with your ancestors to more deeply understand where you come from, and you're working more in the spiritual sense than the physical sense. So let me see what else. What are you choosing? What is the desire here? I heard you just want to be good with yourself. Yeah, I see you looking in the mirror and feeling really good about yourself, and it's not just about your appearance. Yes, your appearance is included in that, but it has more to do with an accepting and an appreciation, again, like we started out with, of your journey that you've been on, and the choices that you made, and the experiences that you've undergone and taken in this life. Okay, let me see more. Oh, the Four of Swords. Okay, in meditation, you're choosing meditation. You're choosing to connect to your ancestors in meditation. You're choosing to peer into the Akashic records for yourself. And again, talk to the ancestors. It's like, maybe you know this technique, or maybe this will be helpful to you in that process. Before you close your eyes to go to sleep, you can literally give yourself instruction that I will dream of what I need to know, and when I wake up, I'll remember it and know what it means. Okay, or you could ask for specific information as well about specific situations and circumstances. You could definitely ask specific questions, but the point is to give yourself the declaration, the decision, and the command that you will receive the information you require and remember it and understand it. Having the understanding and the ability to recall it is very, very key. I've used this technique a lot of times when facing big decisions that were confusing me, and it always worked. And I know you could do the same too. So that could be helpful to you. Let me see what else, Spirit, in the choosing. And again, this deck is talking about the outside influence in this. Oh, and now we have the Three of Pentacles, and it's coming out in reverse. Okay, so the choosing in this from the outside, it's like other people aren't working this way. And so there's a keep it to yourself energy here. Like, oh yeah, I program myself before I go to sleep so that I can remember my dreams and speak to my ancestors and tap into the Akashic record. Everybody's not going to get it. They gonna look at you like you Lulu, like you crazy, like you don't get it. Like, what's wrong with them? They be trying to tell themselves something about some dreams and some more stuff. Oh, you don't need to tell everybody that. You don't need people to be validating your choice and your decision to do this. And so you're not really including others in this information or in this experience for yourself. And that's okay, because the ones that you really want to include in this are included, and that's the ancestral line right now is what's coming through strongest. So let's look at what actions you're taking next. Let's look at what actions you're taking next. What actions you're taking next, we have open relationships, polyamory. I'm not vibing with that. Let's do that again. What actions is the tribe taking? That didn't really feel resonant at all. It felt like I needed to pick them up and shuffle them more. Okay, I made my final decision. I'm resolved. Okay. So what actions are you taking? You're resolved. You made your final decision. You're not open to considering some other alternative. It's like, some people don't get that there's a whole invisible team supporting them. Well, that's fine for them. You know that you have it, okay? You know that you live under grace. Other people will literally try to convince you that life is chaos. Everything in life is chaos. And while that may be their truth, that's not necessarily your truth. And that's not the only place. That's not the only subject. That's not the only reason, right? Where people will try to confuse you or convince you that their point of view is the point of view, right? So you're not biting into whatever the others are asserting over your experience. You made your decision. Your decision is, you know, you live under grace. You know, you got a lot to protect that is extremely valuable. Your happiness, your joy, you're enjoying life. It feels like you're meeting the right people. It feels like you're having awesome experiences. And you know that this is your truth. You see your truth. You know everybody's not going to understand your truth. And that's okay. Okay, so what you're doing, we have a Scorpio energy coming out. Now, Scorpio energy is very deep diving. It's total death and rebirth energy. It is the energy of going as low as you can go into the dark so that you could rise with the Phoenix energy. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the final evolution of the Scorpio energies is Phoenix energy. But the Phoenix energy that I'm seeing in this is like the Phoenix has to get burnt down all the way down to bone, ashes, just completely destroyed in order to rise again. And that's the way the Scorpio energy does. The depths as low as you can go, that takes you down all the way into the transformation so you can be rebirthed anew. It's a painful process. It's not an easy process, but this is what you're doing. You're making a final decision. You're saying, anywhere where there's room for me to perceive more of myself, to perceive more of my experience, to and comprehend more of my life's journey, I'm willing to go there. I want to see. So I see some of you are digging into unresolved traumas or difficulties in life that still sit in your memory field that maybe you have avoided for some time. I see that happening. I also see ones who are delving deep into their emotional body to understand and process the emotions, because I heard you're tired of stinging everybody that comes your way. Are you tired of you tired of hurting the people that try to come near you? And so anywhere where that's true, I see you're processing your emotions differently. You're wanting to investigate them deeper so that you could get to the root of them, so that you don't have to sting every person that actually doesn't deserve it. I'm hearing doesn't always deserve it. Okay. Fridge cold roasted barley tea. Oh yeah, it's preferred by me. Let me see what else we have for you. We have passion, insane chemistry, sparks and having fun, equal interest, burning desire. But I saw it first in reverse. So this is the kind of passion that it could be low vibrational passion. This is like being so drawn in and enticed by something that burns, something that stings, right? Something that hurts. This is where there's an intense desire and craving to be around another, but it doesn't feel good. Oh, okay, thank you. So this is going back into that Scorpio energy where something really burns you up, something really gets you going, something really gets you started, right? But it doesn't feel good. So there's this, again, it's confirming what I already said and saw, that there is an investigation of why is this in my energetic field? Why do I feel this way about it? If there's a reason for everything, what's the reason for this? Yes, because the Hierophant and the Hermit, you are doing everything you can to understand the life lesson it holds, to soul search yourself and figure out, why am I triggered by this? Why does this bother me? Why does it piss me off? Why is this such an irritant? Why do I always feel like I have to sting somebody? Okay, for somebody, this has to do with the connection between a Hermit, which is Virgo, and a Hierophant, which is Taurus. I see that here as well, okay? Somewhere where there's a lot of anger in between, or a lot of very strong emotions that maybe not be fully understood. Somebody has very strong emotion with these two signs included, but doesn't fully understand those, okay? And so there's a need and a desire to do the self-search and investigate that. As I put the two cards down on the table and I look at them, I see where We have one person who has really received a lot of the life lessons. And this person has applied them. And as a result of applying them, this person has spiritual authority. This person has a divine position that they've had bestowed upon them. Meanwhile, there's somebody else who is facing major transformation, facing major changes. And I'm hearing you can't crawl back into the skin once you've outgrown it. And the way I see it is a snake. A snake, as it grows, it sheds its skin. And I see a snake that doesn't want to let go of its old identity, so it keeps trying to crawl back into its old skin. So somebody is a Chinese zodiac sign snake, but I see this person doesn't want to look at it. There's somebody here who doesn't want to look at the opportunity for change. I see y'all don't get along. If this is the case, y'all don't get along. And they are showing me a situation is complete and it's done, and you have made your final decision. What was fun, where there was a lot of connection, is just not no more. Why? Because all I'm looking at is the body language between these two as they're put to face each other. The Hermit keeps turning away. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to look at you. But the Hierophant is the teacher card. And the Hermit is the seeker card. So we have somebody who's seeking, the teacher's right in front of them, but see that snake in front, and there's a snake right here in front of the Hermit. The Hermit doesn't even see the snake there because the Hermit's trying to turn back towards their past rather than face what's in front of them, which is the teacher, the lesson, the life lesson. And in order to get that life lesson, they're going to have to go through that snake, which is showing me the energy of transformation. Wow, that was a lot. They just came out with that. I love the way the spirit works. I love the way they channel the messages through to me. So what you're doing, I guess it depends on which side of the table you sit. You're either the one who is had the lesson right in front of you and you don't want to get it, so you turn around to the back. I refuse to look at the transformation. I refuse to look at the lesson or look at the teacher. Instead, I'm going to look back to my past. Or you're the teacher who's saying, I'm sitting right in front of you with the lesson, but to get this lesson and to apply this lesson is going to require you to take transformation. Are you willing to do the work? Because I can't do it for you. Oh, because that snake is on the Hermit card. It's not on the Hierophant's card. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming out with the Six of Swords, coming out with the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Let me look at these for a moment, because they're all coming out in the position of what you're doing. Well, I see there's been long-term investments. I see this is a situation or a connection that you have worked on for a long time. And that's facts. It came out with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's like something was always there. It was always there. It was like the weight you had kept carrying, right? So you just like, I see, try what you've been doing. You've been, well, if I stick with it, eventually something's got to give. Something's got to change. As you did that, you realized something that made you stop trying to force this thing to grow. And you redirected your attention. Spirit saw that and respected that. And then it's like you're seeing an honoring. So it's not that you, I mean, it kind of is. It's surrender. Thank you. I was going to say it's not that you gave up, but it kind of is. And then they gave me the word surrender. So there is a surrender. There's a situation you've been involved in for quite some time. And it's like, Spirit said, listen, it was like this, Linda, honey, listen, Linda, baby, honey, Linda. Listen, you don't have to stay here for this. You don't have to stay in this position for this. Because remember, what you have is, it's literally not going anywhere. It's not choosing to grow. The snake is trying to crawl back into same old skin. And here you are, you're living under grace, right? And you've been giving grace. But there's this experience where it's like, I got to move forward. Can't stay stagnant waiting for you to catch up is energy. Spirit is excited about that. And you're seeing a reinvigoration of joy. You're seeing a reinforcing of the empowerment that you felt inside. It's like as empowered as you felt to realize, like, I'm just going to surrender this. I've given it plenty of time, plenty of energy, plenty of focus. I got to focus on what's growing. Somebody behind you is saying, I wish you would just wait for me. I wish you would just wait for me. Well, can you give me some time? And I heard, I gave you plenty of time. How much more of my life should I give for your life when you're not doing the thing that's right in front of you to do? And why? I heard, and why? Yeah, and I see you moving forward. What you're doing is I see you, again, with this moving forward. The moving forward has a lot to do with the mindscape in this, because it's like you're making plans to do other stuff. You are at peace with, hey, I invested enough there, but it's choosing not to transform. It's choosing not to change. I waited. I hoped. I helped. I taught. If they don't want to change and they just want me to keep waiting, well, I'm actually okay with letting them stay where they want to be, but I'm not going to hold myself up anymore because they don't get it. Yeah. And so, on both sides of you is empowerment. On both sides of you is empowerment. On both sides of you is knowing what to do and knowing how you feel. And I heard, and trusting how you feel. And right in the middle of it all is spirit guidance, spiritual guidance. You're being led by your heart. You're being led by the divine. You're being encouraged. You're being supported and even celebrated. Yeah. And you say to yourself, well, if they think I look weird, they don't have to look at me. I can just leave, or they can leave because this is my place. Oh, that whole part. Okay. Yeah, if the shoe fits, strap it on and take a run in that bitch. Okay. If it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Okay. Because it wasn't yours anyways. So let's see. What's going on in the heart space with this? How you feeling? How's the tribe feeling in this energy? What's going on in the heart space? How's the tribe feeling in this energy? Okay, right here. Oh, Pisces. Oh. And I heard round and round and round we go. I heard round and round and round we go. Give me one more with that Pisces card. Unlocking another divine trait. I love that we were guided to pull a clarifier. Zodiac signs will often guide me to pull a clarifier. So, Pisces. Unlocking another divine trait. Round and round and round we go, but you're not just going around with people and situations and circumstances. You're going around and around with your soul, with your spirit. And it's like every time you go around and around, you unlock another divine trait. So it's like you develop your spiritual abilities, you develop your spiritual awareness, you self-develop your self-awareness, self-empowerment, stuff like that. So how you feeling? You're feeling like, oh, I've been around this loop before. I know what I have in store. I'll be learning more. I'll be becoming more of what I truly am. Okay. Whoa, now we have father energy. And how you're feeling. So that gives me masculine, that gives me protector, that gives me provider. You feel your provider, you feel your protector, you feel your masculine energy. You feel your ability to take care of that which is important. You feel your ability to go out into the world and create and make things happen and make moves with your spiritual gifts and abilities. Some of you are going to resonate with having a strong connection to your father at this time, whether he's in this physical realm or in the spirit realm. Both are relevant. Okay. Show me more and how the feeling is going at this time. Healing heart. Healing heartbreak, toxicity, or addiction, or abusive relationship. That resonates strongly for me as an individual, but this is it. Like some here, the going around and around with spirit, what you've been going around and around with spirit about and unlocking more divine traits through is the healing of the heart in regards to the father energy. Oh, yeah. The father energy in your line has had a lot of hurt in it. Yeah, we're not going to get too specific about it because the level of hurt is even different. And the cause of the hurt in the father line is very different for all of you, but it's there nonetheless. And you know which way that resonates with you. You know how deep yours goes and how deep the cuts are, right? But healing heart, how you feeling? You're feeling like your heart is healing. Okay. We have the High Priestess and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, I heard, and you're understanding so much about the family cycles. You're understanding so much about the cycles that you've closed in your family line. So you're a cycle breaker, a generational curse breaker, generational karma breaker, and you have a lot of understanding about it. So this lets me know that if you had somebody in your life, regardless of which way they approached you and came into your life, and they were dealing with some generational karmic stuff or some family traumas and stuff like that, you would have something empowering to say, something beneficial to say, because you have experience with that. Yeah. Anywhere where this, the Hermit and the Hierophant in the last position. So we talked about somebody who was soul searching and trying to figure stuff out, but they didn't want to look at the teacher. You know that eventually they're going to look at the teacher. I heard you have this feeling that eventually this person is going to get the lesson, close the cycle, and look at the teacher. So that's another, yeah, that's a little bit more specific. Let me see some more. At the end of the day, for all of you, you know that you've closed a lot of cycles that help heal your heart surrounding situations with masculine energies in your life, surrounding ability to care, provide, protect for yourself. Yes, and the Seven of Wands is from the other side of the table energy. Guarded. Like, somebody on the other side of the table, like, it's like no matter what they do, you won't let them in anymore. They can't get past the doorway. Somebody can't get past the doorway with you. It's like, if they were to come to your house, you wouldn't even let them in the doorway. You might talk to them through the security door, or you might step out of your house and speak to them. But they're not coming in. And I do feel that that is more symbolic than literal, because you close the cycle. And because you close the cycle, you act different. And everybody's not always in alignment with your way of being that you've begun to be. And that's okay. I heard you understand how to respond accordingly. Anywhere where these people have argued for their limitations, found a problem for every solution, and just resisted transformation, resisted the change, been opposed to healing and growing too, been opposed to seeing the purpose in all the things, been opposed to going for their own transformation. You pull back and you close the cycle. You're like, okay, I've given you plenty of time to figure this out. I'm gonna let you go ahead and stay where you choose to be. That's your right. So one of the divine traits that's unlocking for you at this time is the understanding of surrender. You're not responsible for their soul growth and evolution. You're responsible for your own. And in this situation, it's caused some of that for you because you've never had to surrender something so important, something that you've been so invested in. This was a big deal for you to surrender this. and just give it back to God. I heard just give it back to God, because that was the best thing you could do, instead of trying to fuss, fight, argue, prove your point, when it wasn't being heard, it wasn't being received, and it definitely wasn't being acted upon. Okay. It's like, oh, thank you. I don't know how many times you can flunk the same class in school before they finally just say, you know what, we're going to have to send you somewhere else, baby. Because that's the energy, that's the vision that they just gave me. It's like, this person has been in school with you so many rounds. They should have passed by now. They're showing me when I was in high school, there was a student that was about to turn 21 and still hadn't graduated. And they had to graduate before they turned 21. If they didn't, they would have to go to adult school. So there is sort of a time limit to how long somebody gets to be in the class. Okay. Let me see what's being communicated at this time. What's the tribe communicating? What you talking about? Well, we have Leo energy coming through now. Let's take one off the top to go with it. Oh, haunted by the truth. Ooh-wee, all right. So, oh, because Leo is represented by a lion, they're showing me the word lying. It happens a lot when I see Leo energy. And it's coming out that way because of the tormented by the truth. So what you're talking about is like their truth is going to stick with them. They're not going to be able to run from their truth. It's like you can run from it all you want, but when you get there, you're still going to meet your truth there. The truth doesn't just change because you ignore it. Especially when it's your truth of what you haven't wanted to see about yourself. Ooh, and spirit. Spirit, you know spirit is going, you could have even told this person, listen, baby, until you address this shit, spirit's going to have it in your face. You're not going to be able to run away from it. Because this is coming out in your communication. You could have told them, baby, you got to rise in your pride. You got to stand up for yourself and take courage like a lion. You know, you got to see your God connection and stop it depending on these people. Okay, but rather depend on your connection to the divine. Let me see what you talking about, tribe. What are you talking about? You're talking about, ooh, soulmates. But look, it came out and flipped itself in reverse. You're talking about connections that people have with others who are unhealthy connections. This is like, why do you attach yourself to people that do this to you? Why do you bend over backwards for people that treat you that way? Somebody is not going to be able to escape the truth that you share with them. Let me see more. What you talking about? You're stuck in your head. You're getting yourself stuck in place. If you're going to stay stuck in place, that's fine. You can stay there with all the grace that you have, but my grace said I got to let it go. 6 of Pentacles. You say because you refuse to allow yourself to see more, to experience something different, to have another experience, to trust in spirit, and you know you keep honoring this unhealthy contract. I heard, you know, expect to see more of that because you keep telling the universe and spirit that that's what you deserve and that's what you want and that's how you should be treated. So you're literally training the universe how to treat you. And I see that this is what you're communicating. So let me see what you know. Into our next position. What does the tribe know in this energy? What the tribe knows in this energy is, what's the most advantageous point of focus for me now? So that means you realize, like, maybe I've been focused on the wrong damn thing. Maybe instead of being so focused on when this person figures it out and how much they change and how much they transform, maybe I need to realize, like, I'm holding on. I heard I'm beating a dead horse. I need to realize, like, I'm running on a hamster's wheel and getting nowhere. Oh. So how can I shift my point of focus? The tribe knows it's time to shift their point of focus to being, you know, in a good energy for their self. Let me see more. What do you know? What does the tribe know? It's like you understand that looking at that energy didn't help you a lot. You know the ant. You know something about the ant, whether it's your aunt or their aunt, okay, the tia. You know that there's a connection there. You know that something is going on there. Okay, you know something that was done in the past and it doesn't serve you. You know you don't need to look at the ant anymore, okay? What else do you know? The Phoenix. I love it because we were already talking about the Phoenix and now it's come out in a card which confirms everything I said when that Scorpio energy came out and I started speaking about it. Channel messages for you. Now the card comes out to confirm it. What do you know? You're the Phoenix rising from the ashes, baby. You might have been burned down to the ashes, but you're going to fly up out of them. A bird of fire. Leo energy. Okay, Leo energy. New phase and rekindle, renew and growth, change mind, rise from ashes. So yeah, what you know is eventually people will change their mind. Oh, and I see you also know that some of these people are having such experiences to where their life feels like they're being burnt down to ashes. Well, if they allow that to be a teacher in their life, since they didn't want to learn with you, they will be able to figure out how to fly away from that as a fire, a bird of fire, as a phoenix as well. But you know that you're going to do it. I heard you know that you're going to do it. Let me see more. That lady is coming through. I said, fall to the flame. I think that's her lyrics. I don't even know that song like that. But what else? And what you know, the lovers. You know you have the choice. The children of the voice divine. You know you got something to say. Ooh, and as you speak it, you can unbind those chains. And there's the snake. Ooh, wee. There's so much in this card symbolically that came out in the message already. The chain. Didn't I tell you a chain breaker, a cycle breaker, a karma breaker, generational line break, karmic generational trash breaker? And we talked about that snake. Look, that person want to keep you. Somebody wants you to just wait for me and stay stuck with the snake hissing in your face, chained to them. And I see what you know is you can't rescue them from it. You can't break their chain. You could only break your chain. All right, let me see the other side of the table. What you know is, wow. Okay, that's interesting the way these cards came out because they came out back to back. We have the tower on one side and we have the star on the other side. You know this person could take this situation one way or the other. That's what I'm getting with this. It's very symbolic the way these cards came out back to back like this. They can either go with the hit of this experience with you, have all the false foundations broke down, and, you know, rebuild again. Or they can choose to protect their energy and heal. But either way, you know that that's up to them. And they could look at it either way with you too, as in, they could look at you as somebody who is protecting yourself. They could look at you as somebody who is faking their life. And none of it matters. It doesn't matter what their opinion is of you. That's their opinion from in their head. Okay. So, let's see now, if that's what you know, let's see what Spirit is trying to teach you at this time. Because God is trying to tell you something. Let me see. What is Spirit teaching you? Oh, Aquarius. And it came out in reverse. Aquarius energy. Let me see. Card off the top to clarify the Aquarius energy. And it came out. I am the dictator deciding the way I choose to flow my energy. I alone have the executive decision in this. Likewise, I allow others self-governance and have released all ideas of control and dominance over others and their use of energy. In other words, breaking, not only breaking the chains, but for this new age, this unfolding here, you got to break the control devices. And even if you're trying to control them for their own good, Lord of mercy, it's still control. So let's just stop all that before it hurts you. Before it hurts you. Okay, let me see more. We have a grandchild, I heard, and for the coming generations, all these family cards. So family has been a huge role in whatever is happening here. You know how that is applying. They're really not giving me much detail on the family roles that are coming out. Show me more. Healthy choices. Self-love and self-care, being happier, love, and life. Hello. This is exactly, it's like you're choosing to direct the flow of your own life and let them direct the flow of their life, and stop trying to make them better. Stop trying to make them choose healthier. You got to make healthier choices for yourself. That's literally what guided you to surrender in this, was like, you know what? I'm holding myself up and they're asking me to wait for them longer so they could get it. But I've been here and they're not even looking at what I'm talking about. So let me just, I'm just going to let it go. All right. What else? Show me more, and what spirit is trying to teach you in this situation. Yeah, it's time for the dawning of a new age in your life, baby. This is a time where you let everybody flow to their own rhythm, so that you can more consistently and accurately flow to the rhythm of your own life, I heard. 7 of Cups, keeping options open. We're not sticking our energy to people. We just did one of our shorts yesterday in Spanish, said don't stay free. Don't attach yourself is the energy here. Spirit's trying to tell you to break attachments right now. You need to open up your energy field and have room for flow in your energy. And the more stuff that you have attached to you, the more people you have attached to you, the less the flow is happening, because they're taking up energetic space. Wow, the Ace of Swords came out in the reverse, and what's that with it? The Wheel of Fortune is in reverse. Somebody didn't want to see the truth. Remember, this deck is telling us about the outside experience. Somebody's not going to the next level. We did a whole reading about, like, you passed to the next grade and they got held back or something like that. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to tell you the actual name of the reading. The reading was called When You Passed and They Did Not. Yeah, When You Passed and They Did Not. That was a 2.5 hour long live that we did for you 3 days ago. And that's the energy. They did not pass. They do not get to pass go. They got to go repeat the cycle. Meanwhile, you have to make the choice to open up your energy, And that's what I see happening here. And Spirit gave you all the opportunity. So the difference, what's the difference between me and you, okay, coming through, is you made choices that were in alignment with where the energy was flowing, not resisting it. Not resisting the energetic flow. Not trying to stick yourself to people, but attaching to self and spirit rather than attaching to that person or the other person or that situation or that place or that old identity. Because I'm seeing one of the reasons that this situation happened is you both had that snake in your face, which was saying, hey, wake up, people. I wish I could snap better. Wake up. This finger, when I try to snap it right now, I still feel the pain from trying to stop that girl from running to go get in a fist fight with the dude. I learned a hard lesson. I grabbed her like that. Lord of mercy, I sprained my finger and now I'm trying to snap it. I can't even try no more. So I could try with this one. That was a lesson for me, bitch. You might be trying to control them for their best interest. I don't see no girl that needs to go fight with some boneheaded dude. So, of course, me being me, I tried to stop her, hurt myself. Adequate and appropriate that would come up during this message. Well, because I can feel the pain in it when I snap. I can still feel it there. When I try to snap this finger on this hand, I can't do it. So the reminder is there that if you try to control another person, even if you're trying to do it for their best interest, like literally you're only hurting yourself. She still ran off to go get into it with the dude. She still did her stupid ass move. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he was just trying to trigger people. He was trying to get in business. It wasn't his. He was probably jealous that she was more interested in me than him. But whatever, none of that stuff mattered until she decided she needed to jump out her seat and charge after him. myself clearly I needed a reminder, like, it's not your business. You don't even know this girl. But I didn't want to see nothing bad happen. So my natural instinct was, hold on, don't do that. And as I grabbed onto her, boom, she took off running still. And ouch, my finger, it really hurt really bad for like 2 weeks. No bullshit. And now trying to snap, I can feel it. It still looks as straight as it ever did. So we're good. But the reminder is there. Every time you try to heal some or protect some or guide some or control somebody or direct somebody else, you stand the risk of hurting yourself. In this, we're just, baby, oh, you want to run after him? Go ahead. Let me get out of your way. Go ahead. I'm not giving you my finger this time or anything else. If they want to go do what they want to do, man, you could I heard you could try to stop them from jumping off the bridge, but the next thing you know, they'll take your ass with them. Ooh, that's a cold one right there. Yeah, that's a cold fact right there, because what they just showed me is like, yeah, I could have went with my dad to try to stop him from burning himself to death in the van that day, but he would have just killed me too. Yeah, that one come with some sting. That Scorpio sting we were talking about earlier, that one comes with some sting still. But it's facts. You know, I don't care how much you love them. I don't care anything. But if they're choosing, you can't control their choice. So there is a huge energy here of surrender. Allow a person to be how they want to be, who they want to be, where they want to be, do what the fuck they want to do. And if you vibe with them, great. And if you don't, oh, well, that's cool too. Right? What's at the bottom here? Oh, the 10 of Wands, which is speaking specifically to everybody has to carry their own weight, and they choose which weight they're going to pick up. Everybody's accountable for their self. There is one person. You got enough to handle with your own stuff. I heard you got enough to carry of your own stuff. You don't need to carry everybody else's weight. You don't need to take care of everybody else. As a matter of fact, you don't do them no justice. Even parents, I tell them all the time, if you're doing all the chores for your children, you're not helping them, because one day you won't be there to do it. Or at least that's the hope, that they would grow up and move on in life, and they need to know how to handle their own laundry, their own cooking, their own cleaning, all the stuff. So you don't do a kindness to anybody by handling their business for them. If you go around wiping somebody's butt all the time, every time they poop, they don't know how to keep their self clean. They need to figure it out for their self. And you need to take care of yours. You got enough of your own weight to carry. You got enough to do for yourself. You have enough stuff you're responsible for in and of yourself. Handle that and let everybody else handle theirs. Stop trying to take care of everybody else in the world. It'd be different if they're like, well, you know, let's carry this together. Oh, it'd be different if, you know, you was standing there, hey, look, I learned how to carry it this way. Maybe if you give it a shot, it might work for you too. And they actually, but how long are you going to stop yourself on your journey to try to show them some skills that they ain't trying to learn? In one ear and out the other. In one ear and out the other. Especially, I heard, and Spirit said this, especially if they ain't paying for it. If they're not paying no cost for what you're giving them, most people on this planet don't place too much value on free stuff. So there's that. Not to say everybody's that way, but most people don't place too much value on the free stuff, and that's what Spirit said. You don't shoot the messenger. Bottom of the deck here is the 3 of Swords. Yeah, see, look, this is it. This is it. You were not satisfied with this. The Lord of Sorrow, this did not please you. This was a situation that did not please you. That you had to, like, maybe you could have been like, come on, we can do it. Yeah. Can we do it? Yes, we can. That didn't work so well, did it? You had to finally recognize the truth that hurt like a bee and set you free. 3 of Swords for me always says that. But this is the Lord of Sorrow. This has been painful. This was not the way you wanted things to go. This is not what you had foreseen coming. This was not the direction you were trying to lead things. Okay, let me see more. What do we have at the bottom here? Ooh, the clock. Didn't I tell you it's a time limit? Didn't we already channel that through for you? I know we did. They said it's a time limit, and there's the clock. needing time, cycles, and takes time to heal, progressing. Honey, you could only stay in this situation so long. Spirit was like, it's time for you to go, baby. I heard, don't miss that train. Don't miss a party train. And they're talking about the party is because you passed. Remember, you had a whole party to go to. They didn't pass. They decided to listen to the knucklehead on the other side who's about to be told they got to go to adult school to get their diploma because they too damn old to be here. They're running out of time, just like that one, because they keep listening to that knucklehead over there instead of, you was sharing study notes and, oh, this is what helps me remember, and, all that. No, it didn't work. You gave all you could give, and you can't make somebody change. There's a time limit. I'm only going to give you so much time for free before I got to go, especially when I see that you don't value the time that I've given you. You don't apply it. You don't do nothing with it. In one ear and out the other. There's that. Oh, look, because they're a student. Like I said, there was a teacher. Lord have mercy, let me pull these cards up. There was a teacher in front of the student. Teacher, student. The student had the snake in front of him. Time to change. But I don't want to look at the change. I don't want to do it. I'd rather look behind me. Let me look to the past. Let me look behind me. I'm just going to keep doing things the way I've always done it. But honey, I've been in front of you this whole time teaching you because, you said you wanted to learn. You were invested in this. You wanted to. So here I am, volunteering to teach you. And, but I don't want to. Well, Sam Hell, what the hell am I supposed to do? Okay. What's at the bottom of the deck? Ooh. Within 1 week from today, you receive a message that delights you. Or at least you thought. I heard at least you thought. Maybe you thought that going in. I also see as a result of your willingness to surrender the situation back to the divine instead of trying to be the God in their life, instead of trying to be the control freak that makes them do better, improve their life, make healthier choices. I do see that within a week you are going to see something where it's a direct, energetic result of your willingness to surrender the weight that was never yours to carry. Because remember, the bottom of the deck over here was where all the weight was. You didn't want to see somebody in a situation that will weigh them down so much. You did not. But what are you going to do? You can't make them. There's nothing you can do to force them. What do they say? You could lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink, okay? And somebody, they could have asked, because God says, seek and you shall find, right? And so we had a seeker and a teacher. Somebody wanted to know, somebody was seeking from a pure enough heart that God said, here, teacher, go teach. And in this tribe, you are leaders. If you don't feel the leader in you, you're being groomed, taught to be the leader. So in being the leader, a leader can't lead if they're held down by all the weights, right? The leader, in order to lead, has to have mobility, has to have ability to function. And so you can't carry weight that isn't specifically designed for you. Now, a leader is a leader because they've proven time and time again that they can make wise choices. They've proven that they have the best interests of the group at heart. And so there's that energy here as well. Yeah. In this situation, there's grace. In this situation, somebody doesn't want to move forward. You get the truth, and you now know you have to protect your paradise. You have to protect your joy, your happiness, your stability. They don't want to move forward. You can't make them, and you don't have to sit here and watch the consequences of them making choices that are damaging to themselves and their own generations, their children, their family, their household. It wasn't easy, but you gave it all that you had. You gave it your best. You won't be faulted for it. You gave it grace. And you received the same grace that you gave will be received by you. So I do see, again, within a week, if you haven't already seen it, within a week, you will see a literal side effect of your releasing the weight that you were carrying for this person when you gave it back to them. And I do see that you did it out of nurturing and love and care and concern. So Spirit will not fault you for it, but they are actually applauding you because you did it while you could. But as the time is run out and, you know, it's graduation time and you passed and they decided not to, well, that sucks for them. And that's the truth that hurts like a being set you free. And although it sucks for them, baby, you got to go. Get in the car and go with the chariot below that 3 of swords. I'm glad I seen that. So this is what I have for you today. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. Until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. Kamsahamnida. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.